So Meltzer has been basically proving my point on X or Twitter, whatever we're calling it. Somebody wrote to him and said, um, Dave really said last week's numbers were good. It's clear as day he's a shill for AEW. Their ratings are not good. Their ratings are getting worse every week. Um, and to that, they also put AEW is consistently doing well under 700,000 per week now, close to just 600,000, and soon to be in the 500,000 range. Why are you defending really bad ratings? Who is going around saying this is a good number? They used to do 900,000 a week, and 200,000 people are not watching on Max. And then Dave replied, I'm going to put the tweet on the screen here. If they are doing quote unquote bad ratings, if they were quote unquote bad ratings, they wouldn't have been renewed, as bad ratings get TV shows canceled. Pay attention to that. If they were okay ratings, they'd have gotten a $50 million deal. If they were good ratings, they have gotten a $100 million deal. And now they got $185 million a year deal. What does that tell you? Well, Dave, let me stop you right there, dude. Because you're old, you've lost the plot. You need a wake up call. So here's your wake up call, Dave Meltzer. That's what the title is going to be called. Dave Meltzer, here's your wake up call. How I want to give you your wake up call in the form of a question, Dave. It's something to ponder. How low do they have to get before they get canceled? It's been proven that the Big Bang Theory lead-in, a show that has been off the air for God knows how many years now, at least 2. When did and even then, it didn't air on TNT and TBS. That's syndication. You're watching a syndicated show that has stopped producing first run episodes for God knows how many years now, is beating a first run wrestling show in the ratings. Now, I know people are going to go, well, it's wrestling. Not many people watch wrestling anymore. Wrestling's blah, 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 whatever. But you're clearly not able to hook those people. And if anything, those people who watch Big Bang Theory, they're tuning out, within shorter and shorter time frames. It used to be they would get a good quarter hour off the Big Bang Theory lead-in. And that's gone downhill. They're hoping for a damn good lead-in on NBA All-Star Weekend before they do their taped show, which is going to be spoiled 20 hours ahead of time by the internet. They're hoping that they'll get a huge lead-in every single time they've ever done a lead-in from basketball. The first quarter hour is good, and then it, bam, bombs right back down into the damn 500,000 to 600. I'd say they do about 700,000. You're delusional, Meltzer. My question to you is this: How long is WBD going to let this decline go on? What is the rock bottom point for them before they finally pull the plug and realize we're giving these guys $185 million a year when we've already bought the rights for Big Bang Theory for how many years? We got an entire WBD library of movies that we could be airing that will give us just as good of a rating that we already own, bought, paid for, and returned on our investment in most cases. The ad revenue can't be that good. So my question to you, delusional Dave. Delusional. You know what? I'm going to use one of this guy, I think his name was Skinner, in the Parliament of the UK, start calling you Dodgy Dave because you dodge the facts. You dodge the hard truths. You dodge questions. You're probably going to dodge this one. Dodgy Dave. Delusional, dodgy Dave. It's making me sound like Trump again. He's Dodgy Dave. That's what we love to call him. Uncle Dodgy Dave, Sleepy Dave. How long do the ratings? I mean, what's the rock bottom point, dude? Because I'll tell you this. I'll tell you that I don't want to see wrestlers making less money, but enough is enough. Enough is enough. I'm so sick of this mentality of we don't want to see AEW close because the workers will be out of work and the wrestlers will be out of work and they won't make as much money. Well, guess what? It seems like all of them were doing just fine before AEW came along. Hell, from an injury standpoint, they were. From an injury standpoint, they were, what's the difference? You shouldn't have to go get your damn own surgery done and book shit on your own and then just pass AEW the bill. Is that the way he runs? I mean, come on. What kind of business is that? You get injured in WWE, which has far less of a war chest than this guy does now. Because let us not forget, besides the $185 million a year, this guy has daddy's piggy bank beside him to rifle through. WWE, you get injured in WWE, they book your surgery, they book your physical therapy, they make sure you're well taken care of. CM Punk said it himself on that Ariel Helwani podcast last year. It's not a properly run business. They're constantly having production mistakes, continuity mistakes, if there is any continuity at all. They have a money mark booker who has swindled WBD out of money. That's what this is. Enough is enough. I give it 2 years. 2 years before they just shut it down. I'm probably going to be wrong because the money, people go, it'll continue as long as Tony Khan wants to put money into it. Well, let me ask you this. What is he going to do when the ratings get so low that WBD, Warner Brothers Discovery, David Zaslav, how long before David Zaslav looks at those numbers and goes, that's it, shut it down, canceled again? Wrestling canceled again on the one formerly owned Turner Networks. And again, I don't want to see wrestlers out of work, but all these guys were doing just fine before this damn company came along. You didn't see too many GoFundMes out there. The indies were thriving before this company came along. Japan was thriving before this company came along. I dare even say that the wrestling I can't say that. I can't say that because we were wrestling in bars and the indies were thriving, but I wouldn't say they were good from my standpoint when you got tampons being shoved in people's faces and wrestling rings with no ropes in front of bars and nightclubs and strippers and all that mess. But I dare say the business overall was a lot better off before this money mark decided to buy a bunch of real life action figures to play with. Because that's what he's doing. Anyway, the question is for you, Dodgy Dave. Delusional Dodgy Dave. Dodgy Dave, as Trump would say. What is the rock bottom point? Because I can't wait for it to hit that. I can't wait. Why, if I'm a pro wrestler, why would I want to wrestle for a company where no one's watching? Oh, that's right, because the money mark has signed you to a contract. So guess what? As I said in my video yesterday, to all the wrestlers who work for AEW, get what you can out of the man now. Bleed him dry. Bleed him dry. Because guess what? I won't say 2 years. I'll take that back. I'll take back my 2 years. I'll say in 5 years, where the hell do you think you're going to be? When no one is watching you. Because unless this man does something drastic to turn this company around, which the only thing he can do is give the book up, give the creative up to somebody who knows what they're actually doing, who has some sense in their head and isn't coked up every minute of every day, it's going to continue getting lower, and WBD will have enough eventually, and they'll cancel him. They'll cancel $185 million a year for this? Are you guys freaking crazy? Come on. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Spread this video around. I wanted to get back to this guy. I wanted to get back. Dave Meltzer, hey, another podcaster's talking to you. And guess what? That's what you are, dude. You're a podcaster who happens to write a rinky-dink newsletter. But you're a podcaster that people pay to listen to. What do you think Wrestling Observer Radio is? It's a podcast. It's not a radio show. Give me a break. We'll see you down the road.
Actually, I'm in really bad shape financially. I pay money to my ex-wife as part of our divorce settlement, among other bills. I just had no choice but to make you pay for lunch the other day. I'm really sorry.